Hey guys, it's Greg, and our X theme is coming along nicely. But for the moment, I just want to show you how to create and display customer reviews on your website so that on any post or page or section on your site, you can have people write a review using a form like this. And then once they do, you'll be able to approve it or reject it, and then it will show up on your site and generate hopefully a good amount of this stuff they call social proof. We're going to be using a plugin today called Rich Reviews, which I've personally tested. I hope this makes you feel rich in the sense that you get a lot of reviews and those reviews help you generate revenue. I searched forever for this plugin on the WordPress plugin directory, tag, reviews, and found a lot of stuff that sort of worked, maybe worked, some stuff that just didn't work at all, and I installed about 4 or 5 plugins before landing on this little gem. And don't worry, if a plugin doesn't work, it's gone for me. No one got time for that. Alright, so the first thing you need is the plugin. You can find that through the plugins directory on your WordPress site. It's free, just install and activate. The next thing you need is a place to put these reviews. So you need a blog post or a page, or in this case, we're doing it sort of luxuriously, and we're going to set it up on the X theme, which is a premium theme, and that way you get this nice output and stuff like these buttons and this nice cornerstone page builder, which lets me display different parts of the plugin in different locations. So let's test it out and then let's see what I mean. Alright, so let's say maybe James wrote in and he says, "Hi there, love it, more of my review here." And you need to give a star value, so of course we're going to get 5 stars. And when your user submits this, the user experience is in fact really smooth. They get a nice little congratulations message right here. And then in your reviews, you'll have pending reviews when you hopefully get a lot of feedback from customers. And if you like the review, you can hit the checkbox and then use the apply command on approve. And then when you refresh your reviews, or in my case ratings page, then that review will populate right here. And I have 3 reviews already, which of course I created. Read more or less. Alright, so the way this plugin works is very simple. You install it, and then you need to paste in 3 different shortcodes, basically wherever you want on your site. To find the shortcodes, go to the dashboard on Rich Reviews and look at the shortcode cheat sheet. The first shortcode you want to copy paste is this third one, which says Rich Reviews show num equals all. Now we could read through this whole display or cover every shortcode, but I'm guessing you just want this thing to work for you. And quickly too. So let's copy the first shortcode, which is Rich Reviews show num equals all. Wherever you paste this shortcode, reviews show num equals all, is where your reviews will be located. That's this stuff right here with super awesome and the stars and the snippet and the byline. In X theme, I've pasted that in the middle of my page, and we can see that shortcode right here, which just sits in a text widget, which just sits in section 2. Text widget, section 2. Alright, with this pasted in here, those reviews will show. And if I delete this shortcode, those reviews will vanish. The next thing we need to do is get in this form. And you could put the form at the top of your page or at the bottom of your page. But I just know a little bit about user experience, thank God, so I put it at the bottom. To get the reviews form, you copy our second shortcode, which is right here where my highlighted mouse is. Just copy Rich Reviews form, including those end brackets, and then paste that in wherever you want the form to show. In my case, it's right under this heading, H2. Easy as that. You don't need to create any of the form values, although you can edit these, which we'll do in a second. The third part is what I wanted to display at the top, which is my overall rating, and that's just a number that you can brag about if it's a good number. To get the overall rating, you want to grab the snippet shortcode, which is either right here, rich review snippet, or maybe category all, but we're not using a category. So I just copied the rich review snippet shortcode, and I put that in right at the top. The nice thing about shortcodes is once you paste them in, like this, you can put a heading around them if you want. And by doing that, you can actually change the way they look, even though it's just a shortcode. You can put different fonts, you can make them italicized, and all of that, because WordPress understands that this is text as well as the output from a shortcode. So let's get that back to normal. Alright, pretty cool. Let's put a space in there right before our button also, which I have centered as well. That's the HTML for a space. And right above it, I just wrote in some custom copy to explain my review philosophy. Alright, so with those 3 shortcodes inserted, you'll now have the ability to collect reviews from your customers, and I hope you get a lot of them. It's something that can generate more sales if you do it right, and I think this is just one example of the right way of doing this. Let's refresh our ratings page. And voila, pretty cool. This 4.2 out of 5 is based on 4 reviews, and that is just the sum of 5 stars plus 3 stars plus 4 stars plus 5 stars divided by 4 for the average of 4.2. This button right here is created in the X theme using a button shortcode and an anchor tag. You can get those button shortcodes from the integrity site in the Shortcodes tab for buttons. And once you paste them in, you can use Cornerstone to create a link, which we see here on the href, which looks like # write -a review, and then an anchor, which I put on this heading, which just looks like write a review. So that text with an ID has to match the text above on an href. And that's just a nice little user experience feature, right like that. Let's cover a couple settings now to personalize the reviews that you display and the reviews you collect. We can go to Options, and on the left side you can customize the labels on your form. Like maybe you want to say something other than email, or a name like your name and your email. Then when you save that, these values will change right next to the input fields on our form. Save, refresh, boom, we just changed this part right here. You can also display your reviews in one row horizontally using display full width. If we save that option, then instead of having 3 rows right here, we'll just have one rating per row, which is good if you have longer reviews with paragraphs, but not as good if you just have short reviews or little comments like this. Last but not least, you can also choose to not email monitor your reviews, meaning not require approval. That will just make sure that people can post reviews more quickly to your website. And of course, this tutorial wouldn't be complete without a little bit of custom CSS, which I use to make these stars a little bit bigger. To find that CSS, we have to go to Appearance, Customize. And we'll see that if it ever loads, I wrote in a font size selector because those stars are just different characters, like an A or a B or a T would be. So let's go to Custom, and we can see at the bottom of the CSS, writing .stars with the font size selector can change the size of those stars. And I figure bigger is usually better. Or smaller. Alright guys, so yeah, you now know how to display and collect customer reviews on your WordPress website. Hope you enjoy this plugin. It took a while to find and it is my favorite reviews plugin of the moment. So I might be using it on other sites to see what people do with it, whether they want to review my writing or my blogging or stuff like that. I'm just going to see how it goes, and I think you should too. Alright, so thanks again guys, and I'll see you next time.